Hello, this is Hot Fuzz at PlayStationCollecting.com with the second part of my UMD movie collection, and today I'd like to show you some of my horror movies. I've actually got a few movies out for you to have a look at and just bring you over to the movies. Got Amityville Horror, Anacondas, The Hunt for the Blood Orchid, and also the excellent Blade movie. Now I do have all the Blade movies in the series. I'd just like to show you those. Starting with the second one, Blade 2, which is an English copy. That's Blade 2. And also Blade Trinity, which was a Japanese release. Show you the back. So that's Blade Trinity. And we've got the rest of my horror movies. Got Company of Wolves there. Next to the Blade movies. Cave. Cursed. Got The Descent. Donnie Darko. Devil's Rejects. Got the Final Destination movies. Fog. Gothica. Got Halloween here. Now this movie was distributed by a company called Boulevard, who were one of the major distributors in the UK of UMD movies. And they were actually responsible for driving down the price of the UMD movie format in the UK. And now you can pick up the new UMD movie for as little as anything from £10. For some of the older UMDs, £5. So it's pretty, you know, it's not an expensive hobby to collect some of the UMD movies. Some of them are obviously rare and you've got to import them to get the titles, but most of them are quite reasonably priced. I've got here the Kill Bill movies. This is the Kill Bill Volume 1. On UMD, this is an English version, and then we've got Kill Bill Volume 2, which is the English version, and I've also got the EU versions as well, which have got slightly different covers and slightly different discs. And they do have English soundtracks, but what's actually different about these movies is in the speaking parts, when they're speaking in Japanese, there's no actual English subtitles to say what they're saying, whereas in the UK copies there is. But other than that, they're more or less exactly the same. This is the Volume 2 of the EU version. I do actually prefer the covers on the EU versions for some reason. I don't know why. They just look a bit cooler. And then we've got the Butterfly Effect, which was a French release. I actually bought this in a bundle off a French seller on eBay. It's Butterfly Effect. Then we've got the Lost Boys. There you can see. Then Lost Boys, The Tribe, Night Watch, Mirrors, got Prom Night, Saw, a couple of Silent Hill UMDs there. We've got Silent Hill the movie and Silent Hill the experience, which is like an interactive comic. But it is a UMD video, it's not a UMD game like the MGS interactive comic, which was classed as a game. This is actually a UMD movie. Got the 13 Ghosts there, Skeleton Key, Sixth Sense. Got the excellent Underworld movies. I can just show you here Underworld 3, Rise of the Lycans, which never got a release in the UK. It's actually a Dutch UMD. And then we've got When a Stranger Calls, White Noise, and then right at the end here you've got my zombie movie collection. And I think today I've got most of the zombie movies that were available on UMD. Got the excellent Dawn of the Dead, the original 1978 version by George Romero. There. And got the remake there, Dawn of the Dead. Got Evil Dead, House of the Thousand Corpses, House of the Dead, Dead Aim and House of the Dead, Land of the Dead. Got the Resident Evil movies, show you those. This is the original Resident Evil movie. Then we've got Resident Evil Apocalypse, which is this movie here. Then we've got Resident Evil Extinction. Resident Evil Extinction there. Then we've got the newest Resident Evil, which is Resident Evil Afterlife. This is actually a Japanese copy. So rather than saying Resident Evil, it says Biohazard on the front. Which is pretty cool. I am after collecting all the original Japanese releases of these movies, the Resident Evil movies. Because apparently they've got, on the beginning of each movie, they have a presentation from Capcom about the Resident Evil games, which is pretty cool, so I wouldn't mind picking them up at some point. Then we've got the last movie in the collection for the UMD movies of Resident Evil, which is Resident Evil Degeneration, which is this movie here. And that's the Resident Evil collection on UMD today. Right at the end here I've got the movie Shaun of the Dead, which was a French release, never actually made it to the UK. And then on the next shelf we've got a couple more UMDs, zombie UMDs in the corner there. We've got 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later. Got Zombieland. And then most of these UMDs now are drama and action UMDs. Got Air Force One, which is an American release. Assault on Precinct 13. Big Trouble in Little China, Bad Boys, Behind Enemy Lines, Black Hawk Down. Got the excellent Bourne movies, Bourne Identity, Bourne Supremacy and Bourne Ultimatum. Got the Charlie's Angels movies, got the Die Hard movies there, Die Hard Quadrilogy. I actually had to search for this UMD, Die Hard 3, on the internet, and I eventually managed to track it down on yesasia.com and picked up that UMD. It was never available in the UK. That's the back of the cover. I do like the Japanese UMDs. It's brilliant because they're obviously Region 2 and they have English soundtracks on, but they just look a bit cooler. The covers look really nice. And then we've got Domino, Dukes of Hazzard, Into the Blues, Gone in 60 Seconds, Grand Theft Auto, The Great Escape, Hitman, A Knight's Tale, Man on Fire, Rambo, Replacement Killers, Ronin, got the Rush Hour movies, 16 Blocks, Speed, SWAT, Taken, 300, Top Gun, Transporter movies, the excellent Fast and the Fury movies, Vantage Point, Triple X, and right at the end here I've got my James Bond movies. Just above here, it's a few more movies. Got Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl, got the Warriors movie which I mentioned earlier, and Crying Fist. Now this particular movie here, Crying Fist, it's actually a Chinese movie. And it was released to the UK. It still has a Mandarin soundtrack. There's English subtitles on it, but there's no English soundtrack. So that's Crying Fist. And then on the next shelf down, got a few more James Bond movies. We've got Ali, American History X, Armageddon, Be Cool, The Beach, Bone Collector, Boys of Brazil, The Business, Brokeback Mountain, Chain Reaction, Day After Tomorrow, Dirty, Desperado, and Once Upon a Time in Mexico, Fight Club. Then we've got a few more Japanese movies here. Let's show you those. Got The Departed. There. And also Firewall, which was quite a good movie. I do like Harrison Ford, I think he's a brilliant actor. Just pop that on top there for later. Then we've got Flight Plan there, Football Factory, Hackers, History of Violence, Hotel Rwanda, House of Flying Daggers, Jawhead. Now Jawhead is another UMD that came in an all black cover, you can see there. Which is pretty cool. Got Jerry Maguire, King Arthur, Kingdom of Heaven, Kiss of the Dragon, got The Long Good Friday, Master and Commander, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, got Narnia movie there, got National Treasure, and I do have National Treasure 2 as well. Just bear with me, show you that. National Treasure 2 there, which is an American release, and also Karate Kid the movie. Got On Back, Oceans 11, Oceans 12 and Oceans 13. 12 and 13 were Japanese releases. Phone Booth, Platoon, Poseidon, Reservoir Dogs, and right at the end here we've got the excellent Rocky movies, all on UMD. And then just above it we have Pride and Prejudice, Young Guns, which was an American release, and an American release of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Well, this is the end of my second part of my UMD movie collection. Hope you enjoyed watching the video, and I hope you come back and watch the third part. Thank you very much for watching. This is Hot Fuzz at PlayStationCollecting.com. See you again.